sweethearts and lovelies, and welcome back to Quantum Leap Reviews, where, bizarrely, due to a series of mysterious circumstances, we're probably not talking about Quantum Leap for the next 3 or 4 episodes. Now, circumstances have come up, and we will talk about them at the end of the show, but in the meantime, the reason we're not talking about Quantum Leap is because we have a bunch of stuff on this random wheel that we spin, and last time we spun, Fresno picks an episode of Miami Vice to discuss, and I have picked Evan, the penultimate episode of season 1.
Which basically the whole idea, as stated last time, is that the main theory of Quantum Leap, that putting right what once went wrong, is not held just to Quantum Leap. It is a wide, spreading thing, and we wanted to show that. We wanted to show that with a lot of random and a lot of unique perspectives. This is Miami Vice's first perspective on that fact, which is Evan.
Well, yes, Miami Vice.
I think you nailed it right on the head.
Yeah. I mean, I could have picked like my favorite episode, which I think best embodies later Miami Vice, but this is a good one. So Miami Vice. Why are we talking about Miami Vice? Here's my read of Miami Vice. It and particularly this episode is a world in which Sam Beckett doesn't show up to make things right, and you just kind of have to deal with what's going on. It is a show about police, the Vice Squad in Miami, dealing with drug dealers and arms dealers, as is in this episode, and other nefarious criminal masterminds. And there's a great deal of focus on going undercover and performativity at play, and darkening yourself, putting yourself in the shadows to deal with that criminal element, and what that does to the nature of your soul. And every week, a terrible fucking thing happens, and it pushes them one step closer to going over the edge. And it's just, being a vice cop is suffering. But nevertheless, you keep trying to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. Now, you kind of got to take the premise of the show and accept, okay, these are, quote unquote, the good guys, even though they are police. You just gotta, if you can't get over that hurdle, that's understandable. But you just got
Well, in some episodes, they even push that. They even say that, like, good guys in quotation marks is not like when we mean like these are the good guys, we're talking specifically the people we know in Vice Squad. Vice Tech, their Lieutenant Castillo, Tubbs, Sonny Crockett, like these people we know to be good.
Yeah.
Like, to us, these main characters are the only, because there are bad cops in Miami Vice, and they do talk about that in Miami Vice.
I'm just saying that you have to find the part of your brain that yells ACAB, 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 and ply it up with liquor and give it a nap if you want to try to engage with Miami Vice.
Especially when Dick Wolf takes over.
Yeah.
Oh God, don't.
But we don't have to talk about that because we're still in season 1.
So anyway, Miami Vice season 5.
Miami Vice seasons 3 to 5. You can feel it. But Evan, this is
coming in the air tonight.
Oh yeah, speaking of that, if you want to understand the vibe of Miami Vice, go up on your little YouTube search bar and type in Miami Vice in the air tonight. Watch it. Watch the entire goddamn thing. That is the vibe of Miami Vice. Driving through the night, solemn and lonely, while Phil Collins plays.
Miami Vice, like, we heard the theme to Miami Vice in Quantum Leap. We heard it in Doctor Who.
Oh, so we did.
That is the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the vibes of 80s music within because I immediately thought of One-Eyed Jack with the Jump, and they're in the nightclub.
I don't remember that one off the top of my head, but while you're there looking at
it's the introduction to Castillo. That's the introduction.
It's the introduction to Castillo. All right. While you're there on your search bar, why don't you look up the Crockett's theme by Jan Hammer, Jan Hammer. It is a sublime piece of 80s synth, and I love it, and it's etched into my soul. So, Evan, then, as we said, the next to last episode of season 1, and it opens with, as most Miami Vice episodes do, 80s vibes. But this time, instead of Phil Collins, it's Peter Gabriel.
Yeah, I will have to say that this was an extremely well-directed episode of Miami Vice, as is usually par for the course for the show. I looked up the director, and the guy who directed it is Rob Cohen, who would later go on to direct such films as Dragonheart, The Fast and the Furious, and Triple X.
Oh, goodness.
Unfortunately...
I think I have the novelization of Dragonheart, but that might be Dragon Strike.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm just gonna read an excerpt from the Wikipedia page.
Oh God!
Go ahead.
Crime has been committed.
Oh, here we go.
On February 21st, 2019, Cohen's trans daughter, Valkyrie Weather, accused Cohen of sexually assaulting her as a child, as well as sexually assaulting another woman. Weather further claimed that Cohen had taken her to visit sex workers in Thailand and the Czech Republic when she was 12, supposedly as an attempt to, quote, turn her straight. Although Cohen categorically denied these claims in a later statement, Diane Mincer, Cohen's former wife and Weather's mother, confirmed that she had witnessed at least one incident of sexual assault against Weather as a child.
Bad.
Another allegation of sexual assault was published by the Huffington Post on September 28, 2019. Cohen's lawyer denied any wrongdoing. On January 24th, 2021, actress Asia Argento alleged Cohen drugged her with gamma hydroxybutyrate and raped her during the filming of Triple X. A representative of Cohen denied Argento's assault accusation as, quote, absolutely false. In this, with Asia Argento, there is a bit of controversy with her regarding her own actions of sexual assault, but that does not change the fact that that he is not the type to lay false claim on this.
Bad, very bad, very bad. What a wonderful start to this podcast. Especially, there's a bleak fucking irony to the motive for his crime, considering the theme of the episode that he directed.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, and I think this episode, which starts off it starts off action and explode. It starts off like a Michael Bay movie. By the end, it
starts off. I think more accurately, it starts off like a Michael Mann action sequence.
Which, considering that Michael Mann executive produced,
there's not enough explosions or American flags for it to be Michael Bay.
But I mean, we get introduced to this guy Evan, who is like doing an arms deal, and he's got these machine MA-10s, I think they're called.
Mac 10s,
and he just absolutely fucking obliterates these mannequins while Peter Gabriel. But you can't even hear Peter Gabriel over the machine gun fire, and he looks absolutely fucking unhinged. And then, the vice cops come and he gets away and he slams into a car and it explodes. He doesn't give a shit. It's just like,
he doesn't give a crap about the people he was selling to. He literally get in the car and drives it through the back end of a car, blows it to high heaven, and then here comes even Tubbs and Crockett. What the hell?
What the fuck just happened? What in the fuck is wrong with this guy? Is a running theme that will go through the rest of this episode. What the fuck is wrong with Evan?
The answer the show provides are very sad and kind of fucked up.
As is the case with Miami Vice.
So we get introduced to one of my favorite characters in the entire series.
Castillo.
Now I like the two lead characters of Crockett and Tubbs.
Oh yeah.
But come on, Castillo. Any scene he's in, especially later on when he meets with the ATF agent, but the man drips with personality, and he doesn't even need to say a word.
He just gives you a death glare. That's what he does with the ATF guy.
Yeah.
The ATF guy is just going off like, no, you're not gonna fuck this case over for me, Castillo. I don't give a shit. And just stare. Gee.
Yeah, imagine if we got Bushido for. Imagine if we picked Bushido.
I still got two. I still got 2 Miami Vice hits on this. That could be one day.
Yeah, Bushido would be.
Yeah.
Or out where the buses don't run, which is literally voted
run.
as, which is literally voted one of the best, if not the best, Miami Vice episode.
Honestly, given that I get to pick, I'll probably be incredibly biased and pick Caitlyn.
Oh God!
But not that one. The introduction to Caitlyn.
But you could, if you pick Bushido, you get Kate Bush.
That's true too. There's many things to consider in that, but for now.
So yeah, we find out that the guy who was with the lunatic is a guy who's well known in in versions of the mafia and a gun runner, and let's just say he's not a very nice individual.
Guzman.
This is where you start. We start putting in the pieces of putting what Brunswick wrong. Oh. Automatically, we know this is where we have to stop this guy, because this guy is known to escape justice and has done so for many years.
Typical baddie for the Vice Squad to nail. So, to get information on this guy, good God.
Yep.
So, so here, another thing to
monetize given the content of Cohen's background.
I'm not even I don't even have monetization on this channel. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, so Nazis, fucking Nazis.
Like not even neo-Nazis. Like 100%. These people are deplorable.
So to give some context,
right-wing fiction viewed Nazis as fucking evil.
Yeah. So to give a little context, the Vice Squad, the main folks in the Vice Squad, Crockett and Tubbs, they have alter egos that they use to deal with the criminal world and set up them to get arrested and get leads and whatnot. And so Sonny Crockett's alter ego is Sonny Burnett, a high-flying drug dealer and bad man who deals with these fellas.
No, not just drug dealer, like 100%. You do not want to mess with this individual. Like Sonny Burnett, like when the switch is flipped and it goes from Crockett to Burnett, stay out of Burnett's way.
Well, it's a good thing that he's just performing a character and we'll never have any confusion about that. Anyway, so Burnett is meeting with a fucking neo-Nazi who deals arms with this Guzman character, and he's playing in the shooting range and he's buttering the guy up, talking about all the terrible things in the military and how he needs guns to trust. They're letting women in the military. They're letting the homosexuals in the military.
And also half-breeds.
Well, I wasn't going to say that, but you said it.
You could. We're just gonna say this right now.
Nazis are bad.
Yeah. Do not we do not. We here at Quantum Leap Reviews are adamantly against anything of this. Just it is despicable. It is despicable. But what Sonny learns from this man is that Guzman himself is bloodthirsty.
Yeah.
And I just want to touch on the fact that as Burnett, he butters the guy up by saying these things, especially that last line, which will become relevant to the plot of the episode. You know that when Sonny Crockett, as Sonny Burnett, says they're letting homosexuals in the military, that he's thinking of Mike Orgel.
Yeah, we will get to that.
We'll get to that, but they have a meeting with Guzman. It seems to be going well. Then Evan comes down and is like, "Who the fuck is this? I don't trust him. He's a loose cannon. He's just Evan is just off his fucking rocker steamed.
Evan. Here's the best thing. He's not looking at Tubbs. He does not care about Tubbs. His entire focus is right at Sonny.
As it should.
He's going. This guy is a loose cannon. I know this guy. Get him the hell out.
Well, he doesn't say he knows the guy because that would blow.
No.
Because for obvious reasons, but it's still. Ooh, I don't like him. Guzman is like, you shut the fuck up. I trust them. We're doing a deal with them, and that's when we get the reveal as Crockett and Tubbs leave. Crockett reveals that guy is actually a cop.
Yep.
He's undercover as well.
An ATF agent, which. Then we get led into, as we said, the scene where Castillo and the ATF's agent handler, is talking, and Castillo flat out, every time the ATF tries to speak, Castillo's like,
no.
I will arrest who I have to arrest to keep those guns off the street. And if you get in my way, you will spend a night in our cell.
Yeah.
ATF guy is basically just like, I don't give a shit how many guns go on the street. I want to capture Guzman. And Castillo's naturally like, I don't want innocent fucking people to. Oh, who gives a shit? I want the drug. I want the arms dealer. But they agree to work together for now. For now, as long as they can get the guns, as long as they get Guzman. Blah 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 blah. But Crockett does not want to be on this case. He actually asks Castillo, "Hey, can I take this one off for personal reasons?" And when pressed on it, he gets belligerent, and Castillo's like, no, you're doing it. You're doing it, buddy.
And I think that's kind of poignant because this is not the first time and will not be the last time when Sonny is pressed and he gets it. Castillo knows when it's like Castillo knows when some of his officers have this button and it's pushed and it's icky and it's not right for them. So what do? Is he pushes and goes, no, you're dealing with this. You're going.
And Crockett is obviously keeping secrets from everyone, from Castillo, from Tubbs. Which Tubbs looks into what's going on with Evan and why Crockett might be at that. And we see more of, no, really, what the fuck is wrong with Evan?
Yeah, Evan goes to the boat and basically threatens to kill. Yeah, he goes off between, oh, I'm your old friend, we're good buddies. And I will shoot you in the face. There's a bullet with your name on it. Gee, I wonder if there's an episode called A Bullet for Crockett.
Wait, we come full circle with that.
Yeah, I think, and that's the thing is that Evan's got. I think that's the main takeaway, especially with this scene, is because of what happens later and what we find out, we don't know where Evan ends and his character begins. There is another episode that pushes that same line of a guy who goes dark. I think it's an early season 1 episode where a guy goes dark. And
no, season 3. I think I know which one you're talking about. Is the one with the serial killer?
No, it's the FBI agent that goes dark.
Al Bundy?
Yes.
That's what I figured.
Al Bundy. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what
Al Bundy.
Funnily enough, the guy who wrote this episode, Paul Diamond, also wrote for Married with Children. He wrote an episode of Married with Children. Also did 2 episodes of Superboy. He was the head writer of Diabolic, and because this was a childhood favorite of mine, was a staff writer for Liberty Kids, which was a kids show about a bunch of kids living through the Revolutionary War.
Well, how about that?
Good God, he wrote for Liberty. Oh my God.
Yeah. He also wrote 1 more episode of Miami Vice, and take a guess what it was.
No, not Al Bundy.
What one?
Did he write the serial killer episode?
He did not.
Did he write Deliver Us from Evil?
Nope. The Al Bundy episode, incidentally, is called Heart of Darkness.
Yeah, Heart of Darkness.
What
it's season 1. It's the 2nd episode of season 1.
Yeah. Out where the buses don't run.
Nope.
No, the second episode.
That's third.
The second episode of season 1 is Heart of Darkness with Al Bundy.
Yeah. The episode that Paul Diamond wrote was Bill the Shell.
Oh gosh.
Which I mean, tone comparison.
Tone comparison a bit, yeah. For you viewers at home, Phil the Shill is an episode that guest stars Phil Collins from Genesis as a sleazy crook. They loved his music so much that they put in there. Look. I enjoy Phil Collins Genesis, but I prefer Peter Gabriel Genesis because I prefer 70s prog rock to 80s rock. That's just me. They're both very good.
We get our episode of Peter Gabriel, and this episode has a bunch of Peter Gabriel songs, including at the nightclub where Tubbs confronts Sonny about what the fuck is going on with this Evan guy.
Yeah. And even before that, when they're in the car and he's like, "So what's the deal with Mike Orgel?" And he slams on the brake. He's like, "Don't you ever fucking go behind my back and look up shit again."
The nightclub was where Sonny goes, "Okay, I'm ready to talk about what the fuck is up with this Evan guy."
Yeah, that's it. But when he's in the car and he asks, Sonny slams the brakes in the middle of the road, slams on his brakes, skids to a stop, and it's like, "Don't you ever go behind my back and look up my jacket again."
Yeah.
And it, like, you can tell, like, that one action is like, oh, there's something there.
There's really something there, definitely.
Before the reveal, what I thought was happening was, I thought there was sort of a homosexual undertone with the character. It's sort of like their ex-boyfriends.
Well,
that was not the case.
Well, you're on the right path of sorts. So, yeah, this is when the episode gets to its. Oh, this is why I picked it, because Sonny does eventually go to Tubbs and be like, "Look, man, let me just explain what's going on." Takes him to a gas station and tells him the tragic tale of Mike Orgel, who was a police officer along with Crockett and Evan, who used to be in Vice. All three of them were in Vice. And Mike Orgel was killed at that very gas station when some guy was robbing it with a shotgun. And Orgel didn't call for backup. He just walked in and he got obliterated. And Crockett is convinced this was a suicide.
Yeah, Tubbs literally says, like, he was brave, like that. And Crockett looks up. May I remind you, this gas station is abandoned and is very clearly abandoned. So when they go up to this gas station and they walk right up to where the Mike Orgel was shot, like Sonny says, right here is where he fell. And Tubbs is like, he was brave. He's braver than. It's like, no, that's not bravery.
So what happens?
Not bravery.
And it mirrors in a way Crockett's reluctance to take on this case. The fact that he's like, "Hey, let me sit this one out." No. The fact that the Vice Squad early on were sent to infiltrate a bunch of bars, and Mike wanted out. And one of them joked, why is that? You don't want to be recognized in a gay bar? That's exactly why. Mike Orgel was a closeted gay man, and he had to out himself because of this raid on gay bars and explaining, well, why don't you want to go to do the thing? And there were various reactions to this. Crockett sort of went neutral and like, I didn't know how to handle it, so I didn't. Whereas Evan went full homophobe.
Yeah.
He used the F word. He spewed it. He was, and I think that people in Quantum Leap was made in the early 90s. It was based in the early 90s. It was early 90s. A lot of these episodes, it had gotten better with it, but not by much. We are in the mid 80s, and for context, in the mid 80s was the AIDS epidemic.
Yeah.
This would all happen over a decade before I was born.
I mean, I was only just born, so yeah.
Yeah, there is a lot of tie-in of like the panic was still there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, and this is very bold for 1985 network television to be this sympathetic to a gay person. Like, wow.
This would be. I'm trying to find this.
May 1985.
No, it would be 84. No, 85.
No, 85, because it's near the end of the season.
Yeah, I'm trying to find what. Yeah, when that quote about. There was a famous speech at Congress where a man was belittling Congress for basically going, AIDS is God's cure for the gays. We don't have to care about AIDS.
Ugh.
Again, may I remind you, this is 1980. This is
1985.
People don't think that the 80s were a long time. The 80s were you think like in terms of time, they're 40 years ago. But in people think and like cultural, the 80s happened like last year.
Well, a lot of that is due to the fact we keep remaking shit from the 80s, you know?
Yeah, that too.
To give you an idea, timeline-wise, with regards to the 80s, 5 months after this episode aired, Rock Hudson would die of AIDS.
Oh, yeah. That's a big one.
Yeah. Rock Hudson would die 5 months later. I don't think Freddie Mercury was diagnosed with AIDS.
No, I don't think that was
Freddie Mercury started having symptoms of AIDS in 1982.
Oh, okay. But he kept... Freddie Mercury kept that secret for a long time.
Yeah, he kept it a secret until the year of his death in 91.
Right. Poor guy. But, yeah, so... It's just mind-boggling just how wild the world was back then about this sort of thing, and just to have an episode like this go, no, Crockett is basically like, I didn't stand up for my friend when he was facing this, and that was wrong of me, and I regret it every single day because he's gone now.
Tubbs tries to reassure him that it's okay that you messed up, because you know in your heart you were going to be doing the right thing, but Sunnyflower goes, no, that's not enough. I should have done the right thing.
I should have really stood up and said, "Who the hell cares? Who the hell cares who he?" For mid 80s television, this alone is revolutionary. Yeah. Because again, as Fresno and Sean as he said, this is the mid of the AIDS epidemic, and in the beginning, a lot of like homophobia, and especially given that you talked about that speech in Congress, and just for this episode to come out and step and go, no, what?
I'm thinking of that guy who had. There's a famous picture during the AIDS crisis of this guy. He has a leather jacket, and it says on it, "When I die, don't bury me. Just throw me on the steps of the White House," or something like that. It's like, it's powerful shit. Just like, no, you're not gonna ignore this and be like, "Oh, it's what they deserve." No, you're dealing with this shit. And to put it in perspective for our main thing, 7 years after this episode, give or take, Quantum Leap aired Running for Honor, which is a leap about classes of gay people in the military. I think it's the military, the Navy, something like that.
And Sam is pretty much 100% like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. No, and then you have Al.
Yeah, that's my big sticking point. So you've got Evan here in the middle of the AIDS crisis, Crockett being like, I should have been better to my friend when he came out, but I sat on the fence. I didn't call him the slur, but that wasn't enough. He needed my support. And then you have Running for Honor, and you've got Al going into a fucking gay panic. Oh my God, Sam, you like tea? Are you catching the gay? Oh no! Like, it's so fucking terrible.
And immediately I think of another episode which takes place during the AIDS crisis with the deaf girl, the deaf individual.
Oh,
who wants to be a dancer.
Oh, that episode was during AIDS?
Yeah, 1980. No. That's when she passes away in the original timeline.
Oh, okay.
86.
I will also add that there's an episode of the Quantum Leap revival. It's a legal episode, a Ben Song for the Defense, I think it's called, and Ben has the Leaper Ben has leaped into a lawyer who's in a closeted lesbian relationship, and there's this biker guy who's like, there's all sorts of people like trying to get the attention of this defense attorney lady. And one of them is this biker who wants his bike back, and it's revealed near the middle of the episode that he's like, yeah, my uncle, he died of AIDS, and I want to go on this ride, this motorcycle ride to support, for raising support for AIDS. And it's this really powerful thing. It's just like, wow. Like, and that episode was also set in 1985. So, you have these stories being told in the middle of Quantum Leap. These people existed, and they lived and died, and their stories should be told. But as for Miami Vice, Crockett regrets, but who else regrets is Evan, who shows up the next day at Vice, drunk as fuck, wanting to talk to Crockett, and basically just breaks down.
And he says what everyone realized by the time we got to that speech of them at the gas station, everyone kind of realized what it was. Evan took all these jobs and took the risks and did all this all because he thought, oh, I needed to be a man, and a man he says a man makes mistakes, and he does all this, and he just starts breaking down, and he goes like, for
please
him to
me,
do,
Sonny. Please.
And he's begging Sonny, and Sonny's like,
because Mike isn't there. Though it's worth noting that the old Tumblr joke of men would rather go on several suicidal missions that involve high risk, involving several mad, insane gun dealers, than go to therapy.
It's true. But I do like that you had this moment in this episode that's about, their lost friend who was gay. He's talking about, oh, real men do this, real men do that, and they're hugging it out, they're embracing, they're talking about their feelings. It's like real sympathetic shit. Real men do talk about their feelings.
Yeah, but also tellingly, he has to get himself drunk to be in that state. He has to put himself outside of his mind, and he also views the problem with the situation as he drove his friend to hurt himself, and not he was a homophobe. Like, nothing about his words says that he regrets the homophobia.
Yeah, he very much is like, he doesn't, there's a disconnect. There is very much a disconnect between Evan's homophobia and Evan thinking. And another thing, Evan left just as soon as he left.
He's like, I don't want to be working with no, the word.
Yeah, and he left to go do these dangerous stunts. To go do this.
He quit Vice to get away from Mike, and because I don't want working with no blah blah blah.
Yeah, and then Mike got sat at a desk.
Yeah.
Mike literally had his career put in front of him and said, "You're here until we can find a way to drop you."
Yeah, because for all the sympathy the show has, the police are still shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Crockett flat out says that's what happened to Mike. Had Mike not sacrificed himself in this attempt, he was eyeing at the first drop of a hat. He was out of the police force.
Yeah, it was obviously creating a hostile work environment. Put him at a desk, and they probably were gossiping behind his back.
Several comments about how men like him would go after their fellow guys. You don't want to have somebody who's eyeing you sexually.
Oh no, you can't have that.
I think given the kind of person Sonny is, I think he'd still have the regret even if Mike was dropped from the force.
Yeah,
It wouldn't be. It probably wouldn't be as intense, but it'd still be there. Meanwhile, I don't think Evan would have the guilt over Mike's death because again, his guilt feels very much in line with the death part than the desk job part
or the homophobe part.
Yeah.
But
and
way,
so
we get to the climax. Our deal with Guzman. Here's a bunch of money. Here's a bunch of those MAC-10 guns. And
here's Peter Gabriel.
Here's Peter. Well, Peter Gabriel shows up after they pull a little switcheroo here to appease the ATF, I guess. Where it's like as soon as they make the deal, the vice cops disguised as regular cops show up and are like, "Okay, we're taking these illegal guns with us. Bye, guys." And Peter Gabriel's
it's not like. Okay, so they're just taking all the guns.
Guess so.
Yep. Okay, so and
Guzman either figures out the ploy, or he did because he aims his gun.
Crockett's pissed off.
It could also be he just Crockett makes a comment about we're out $120,000, and you better be able to pay it.
There's a comment from Evan earlier on.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pay that.
Yeah. There's a comment from Evan earlier on when he's done. There's a scene earlier where they're making the deal. And it's like, I changed the deal. It's now $3,000 for the guns. We said $2,400, and Evan gets in front of him, pulling out his gun, and is like, "Go ahead, do it. I've seen him kill people for being left-handed. Go on, do it, kill me."
And then he clocks the pistol.
Yeah, it's fuck. Again, what the fuck is wrong with Evan, as we know, but yeah. Yep. So I fully believe that it's just Guzman being pissed off and being like, fuck these guys, I'm killing them. But Evan sees in time and takes the bullet before Guzman is shot and killed.
And Guzman is shot and killed by Sonny. I think Sonny.
Yeah, Sonny.
Yeah, Sonny and Tubbs.
And Sonny's holding Evan, and it's not like a bawling, and it's not that. It's just Sonny looks at his dying friend, who he knows is dying, and he goes, "Evan, why?" Like he doesn't even have the, he doesn't even have the emotion. Like he doesn't have the emotion, not the emotional weight, but he doesn't have the ability to say more. He just goes, "Evan, why'd you do it?" And all Evan says is, "I'm going to Mike."
And so, that Crockett, this is the last one of his old buddies left. And that's the episode.
Yeah.
Wow. What a fun ending, huh? That's how Miami Vice endings go, The bad guy's dead, but you pay some terrible fucking price, and your soul is just a little more darkened because of it, and you're like, oh my god, what am I doing with my fucking life?
Yeah, saying right what once went wrong does have its darker implications. Yeah. It could be read that Evan took the bullet because of his own self-image. He couldn't handle the guilt, so he decided to set right what went wrong by taking a bullet for someone. But again, that's making it about him. Yeah. It's not about Mike. It's not about Sonny. It's about fucking Evan.
I get to die a hero, again, and that goes back to how Mike Orgel's death was seen by Tubbs, being like, "Oh, he was brave. He bravely went in and took the bullet." No. I wonder if that's how they'll talk about Evan. Oh, he was so brave, saving Sonny from that bullet. No.
That was suicide.
That was 100% a man who could not take what he had done. At least in some aspects, could not take what he had done. Leaped in front of his best friend and went and took it, and basically, that is his final words. "I'm going to see Mike."
And in many ways, that is what Miami Vice is all about. It's showing these two cops who try to do the best they can under horrible circumstances, and often you get to see a glimpse of what they could become if, after one bad day. You could become an Evan. You could become a Bruce McGill in Out Where the Buses Don't Run. You could become a crooked criminal or a dirty cop. Anything could happen to fuck you up.
You could become a hackman. You could become a literal Sonny Burnett.
Yeah, all of these things happen, and more as the series progresses. But that's our look at it for now.
And I think that as like a final thought is paramount. This is the quantum leap thing of putting right once it wrong, but looking at it at the sense of there is no Sam Beckett. There is no hero who's outside the fold who comes in to save the day. It's these are your chips. Now, how do I use them? And sometimes using those chips ends up in just the worst of circumstances.
The house always wins.
So, what's the next episode of Quantum Leap that we're gonna get? Mike,
I just wanted to give my thoughts before we get into that horror. You know what's coming. You know it's coming. You're being cheerful. Yeah. This is a very good episode, Miami Vice. It is shockingly progressive for its time, and you kind of go, oh my god, that's amazing. Why couldn't more things be like this? But it does have that Quantum Leap ethos, but there's no Sam Beckett. And there is a remark made in the second season of the new Quantum Leap where a character muses that a Quantum Leap is powered by sacrifice. Sam Beckett's sacrifice of never getting home again is what helps him to save these people. So in that same mold, all the death and loss that happens week after week to the Vice Squad, that's the sacrifice for keeping the streets of Miami just a little bit safer, saving just a few ordinary lives. And in the end, when you throw your badge down and be like, I quit, you have to ask, was it worth it? And was it? I don't know. Was it worth it here to stop one criminal, to lose Evan, who was just damaged beyond repair anyway, couldn't properly atone? But that's something for Sonny Crockett to ponder over as he continues on his journey of trying to, help the streets of Miami, help the people of Miami. It's a wonderful episode of Miami Vice, and highly recommended for you to watch. If we've already spoiled the shit out of it, but it's still great to watch. And even bookended by Peter Gabriel. It opened with Rhythm of the Heat, and it ends with a Biko, which is another tune from one of Peter Gabriel's self-titled albums from the early 80s.
There's also one other Peter Gabriel track in the episode. Give me a sec.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's in the nightclub.
Oh, that's a Peter Gabriel track?
Yeah. The track is called...
He's all over this.
Oh, no, that's Fashion. Never mind.
Okay. Well, either way, bookended by Peter Gabriel, which is great. And the best Peter Gabriel needle drop, of course, is during the Burnett arc laid in.
Yep. And not just because Kate Bush is also on that track.
So, this is where we would spin the wheel and decide what we're doing next. Unfortunately, things happened on Doctor Who Reviews.
Yeah.
So the thing about the wheel is that there's a degree to which it's a devil's bargain. And we spin the wheel, we get to do the various things that are on the wheel, but there's a price. There is debts to be paid.
Magic has a price.
One of these
debts we hope to never have to pay because we didn't think the people on Doctor Who Reviews would ever be dumb enough to do it.
Yeah, so can I tell them, Sean?
Go ahead.
So one of the debts was there are a few Doctor Who audios that are so bad. And I mean bad in terms of oh dear God, why?
Okay, Mike, I just want to interrupt for a second. I reiterate, I forbid you to tell me anything in this particular audio.
Yeah, so I'm not going specific, but bad in terms of oh dear God. That one of these was an audio by the name of Necromantia. Me and Shaw and the wheel decided that if Necromantia was ever chosen, me and Sean, and possibly Fresno, would have to read would have to read Lost Girls.
Yep.
And talk about it.
It's worth knowing that Fresno does not have to read Lost Girls. Part of the stipulation of the wheel is that this would happen even if the previous episode was mirror image. So if we did mirror image, which is the last episode of the podcast, we would have to do Lost Girls.
Yeah.
The podcast would return for Lost Girls.
Yeah.
We do not want to do this.
Yeah, we so thought that we would be free, because who would be insane enough to choose one of the worst Doctor Who pieces of media of all time?
The answer is Chris.
Yeah. Then last
episode that's comparable to the fucking Twin Dilemma in terms of how wretched it is. Yes, I will not explain why, but I will explain it to you after Fresno gets off the chat. I will explain it to you.
Okay.
It is so much worse. But
yeah, it's worse. It is worse. But you do compare it to the Twin Dilemma. It is worse than the Twin Dilemma.
So what we decided is for the next 3 episodes, the first episode you will get after is the talk about Lost Girls. After that, I will get a choice, either if on or off the wheel. It can be from anything as a sort of palate cleanser. Then Sean will get a palate cleanser after that. And then after those 2 are done, then I will roll the wheel and things will come back to normal.
Yep. Yeah. For our 10th episode, which... oh boy.
Yeah, so basically what happens... Yeah, so
my last one with the reroll.
Yeah, the episode. So basically, what has happened is episode 10. My next roll will be the last roll with rerolls. After that,
we get what we get.
We get what we get. Yeah, that's.
I just want to reiterate, kids, that I had no input in the decision of either picking the Necromantia or making this weird Faustian bargain where people would have to read a dubious Alan Moore comic.
No, you just have to listen to Necromantia.
Yeah, that's bad enough. You can't ask me to both listen to Necromantia and read Lost Girls. No.
Yeah, Fresno here has to listen to Necromantia.
Okay.
And you said you were going to do that this week.
Well, I not this weekend, next weekend. But you're also forgetting that I have to upload the thing. I have to have on my YouTube.com channel forever. Hey, kids, we're discussing Lost Girls!
Oh, yeah, that's also true.
So think of that when you're thinking of punishment and devil's bargains.
But yeah, so we have to tread very carefully on that next episode, and I mean very fucking carefully.
Yeah, I don't want to get my channel deleted, please. So.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to be tread very carefully when we talk about that. But after that, we can decide, and I'm already gonna tell right now that I may decide to just go F it, choose Cromwell and drag poor Rainiac into this because because how I feel right now is to go full on
Rain. He's already gonna suffer.
No, I am on 100% scorched earth right now. I may calm down by the time Thursday rolls around, or whenever we film the next episode, but right now, who knows?
Keep in mind, Ray has to listen to Necromantia too.
I might just go fuck it. We're doing the episode of Star Trek where I don't know, a war episode of Enterprise, or maybe In a Mirror Darkly.
Why would you do that to me?
I am also in scorched earth mode.
You kids made these rules. I'm innocent.
Okay, I'm trying to think of... yeah, but the problem is, I don't know what would piss Chris off. I'm pretty sure...
Watching Twilight. Twilight. No.
Okay, yeah, make them... yeah, but we can't make them watch Twilight the way we can make Rain watch Cromwell.
God.
We say that no. We say no. We say that we're gonna watch the episode of Revolutionary Girl Utena.
Oh yeah, the movie.
And then the movie. And then when they get here, we go, oh well, here's about because they've already seen Twilight. And they already hate it so much.
You're gonna pull the fucking twin dilemma prank on them.
But they listen to the podcast. They know.
Yeah. So they already.
No, they don't. They don't know about this. Yeah, they don't know about this podcast.
Well, I linked this podcast. They're probably listening to. Well, we'll find out if they listen to this. If you listen to this, type in the podcast chat "purple duck." There. Now we'll know.
Yeah, now I know.
And knowing is half the battle.
Anyway, we're going to hell for the next 3 podcasts. So
well, at least the next podcast.
Yeah. We're going to hell, and by the end of it, a lot of people will be angry and confused. And
oh God!
You want to know what would be horrible is if it gets back to me to roll the wheel and we roll justice.
Oh yeah.
Well, you get 3 spins.
I get 3 spins, but that's it.
Yeah. Well, look at what happened to me last time. I got 3 spins. I hit the So Help Me God, then I hit Shock Theater, and then I hit Evil Leapers. So 3 spins doesn't help. Trust me.
Yeah.
Anyway, we should probably wrap this bad boy up. Anything else to say or whatever about Evan?
Send help.
Yeah.
Help us.
There's no help. You wanted to... What's wrong, Mike? You wanted to talk about Oz. You get to talk about Oz next time.
No, like, I can't believe this is the first Oz thing we do on this podcast. It's talk about
just think of August when we start Twin Peaks reviews, and that's the first episode.
Yeah, that's the first episode. Literally, I get invited for the first... No,
there's literally a documentary all about David Lynch and his love for Wizard of Oz.
John Waters gets interviewed for that.
Yeah. Which is a fine documentary, which is astounding when you consider that the person behind it also directed The People vs. George Lucas, which is maybe one of the worst films I've ever seen, legitimately.
Prez, do you want to do the ad read, or...
Ad read. You mean like, you can find us here and there. Because we're not sponsored by any shit.
I almost said. So say goodnight, Prez. No.
No.
Where can you find? So where can you find us, lovely people? Fresno?
All right, we're all on Bluesky down below. I've got a blog, Fresno'sRavingRants.blogspot.com. I recently posted a Canada Day thing about a Canadian show that enamored me. I have to write about Revolutionary Girl Utena at some point when I don't have so many goddamn real life errands to attend to. You know, you gotta. You can't live in a messy house and write 3,000 words. You know what I mean? You gotta clean your fucking house first. But there's that, and Monday Night Fresno, 7 p.m. EST every Monday night. We just played Lily's Night Off last time. Absolutely bonkers visual novel. Mike, you saw some of that, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I did.
What fun! What fun! Okay.
Next time he gets to play Wizard of Oz on the SNES.
You keep saying it. It's not going to happen. But Mike, what about you? What are you up to?
I've got a blog, Michael Hoovian Thoughts at blogspot.com. I also have a letterbox. Both are in the works right now because I procrastinate like a crazy person, and also for the fact of I sometimes do random things. I'm trying to get I'm trying to write a book. That may take a while because again, I am a procrastinator.
Oh, mood.
So a lot of things are trying to happen. I just procrastinate a lot, and I'm hoping to change. I'm trying to force myself to do things slowly over time.
Well, don't look on the bright side, Mike. Pretty soon you'll be able to log Cromwell on your letterbox.com.
Yeah.
Sean, what are you up to?
I'm also working on a book, which I've also been procrastinating about because of, though also mainly due to personal life things involving the family members, which I do not want to get into on the podcast. I have previously published 2 books which are in the doobly-doo, and I edit a bunch of books, hopefully including the upcoming release for Lena's 11th Doctor series, which we are waiting for the release of the full book.
The full physical, the full physical. Like I told Lena, if she starts doing like doctor books, like like talking about like First Doctor, like if she does books on that, I will 100% send my Elizabeth Sandifer First Doctor book to Fresno.
But I already have one of those. I have all of TARDIS Hereditorum. Where do you think I learned to blog from?
I know, but do you have a physical copy of TARDIS Hereditorum?
I have a physical copy of Recursive Occlusion.
I probably should update my collection at some point.
Yeah.
At the very least, for Near Reaction at Basilisk.
Oh yeah, that is that's a humdinger of a book. But we're not going to talk about we're not going to talk about books right now. But next time, unfortunately, these two will be talking about a book, and I will be there, and I will probably be just standing there, eyes wide, going, "What the fuck?" As these two talk about Lost Girls.
Fresno will be here as a moral support because mainly we will need him as moral support because by the end we will probably be melted puddles on the. We will be no. You know what we'll be like the Master in Fallout.
You're gonna be no. You're gonna be Bocchi in the tub. That's what you're gonna
be. Yeah. We might very well just end up recording the post conversation because of the content of Lost Girls.
Yeah.
Yeah. So worst case scenario, we may just end up like talking about a like thing, but because a lot of Lost Girls, like you have to be very careful with.
Yeah. Keep in mind, I want to have a channel, so.
So next time after that is Lost Girls. Time after that might be Cromwell, so we get to drive here. And then time after that, we get to watch Twilight.
Again.
Well, we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Until then, kids, you have a good one, and we'll be seeing you. Bye, everybody.